What's up, everybody? My name is BLUEBeatz, Northern Ghana's biggest and most popular music producer. I urge you to go on YouTube and subscribe on BLUEBeatz TV for all your educational, information, and entertainment program. Don't miss it. Click on the subscribe button.
Alright, like I always will do, I want to say a wonderful good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on what time you are watching this video. As always, my name is Peter Wedaman. I am a lead presenter at BLUEBeatz TV. Now we have moved our camp right from Navrongo, and we are in the northern region of Nyonyini, Yepala, to be exact, inside the studios of BLUEBeatz. No doubt this is the most sought after sound engineer in the whole of northern Ghana, and I dare say he's spreading his tentacles to Accra and co. And guess what? That is one of the top rated A-list artists in Ghana who vibes with BLUEBeatz. We are going to get into all that and more as this interview will go. Okay, BLUEBeatz.
Yes, I.
You can tell our viewers who is BLUEBeatz, and that will include your name, mom and dad gave you from birth, and how you became BLUEBeatz.
Okay, my real name is Antare Mahmoud Wasiu. I was born and raised in Nandom in the Upper West region. I'm a Dagati boy by tribe. I'm a very cool guy.
Cool guy. We'll see about that. Yeah. So, how did the BLUEBeatz name come into the picture?
Okay, so BLUEBeatz, it wasn't actually BLUEBeatz. I was a music producer in Boga. Okay, so let me put it at the time. So I think my dad was transferred to Bolgatanga Secondary School, so I moved to Boga with my dad. But growing up in London, I was into music already, because I was selling cassettes with my uncle. We had a music shop called Bombay Studio in London, where I was selling cassettes. It's actually a family business, so literally there's some music background in the family. So I was selling cassettes in London, so I had this passion for music, and the fact that I was selling cassettes in London gave me the opportunity to listen to every kind of music in the world. So in 2007, my dad moved me to Bolgatanga, where I actually started music. This is way like 2007, yeah, I think. So 2007, 2008 to 9, I started to record my own music, because at the time when I was growing up, I was writing songs for myself. I was a musician, you know, at the time. So 2009, 2008 to 9, as I hit the studio in Bolgatanga, and the first studio I actually entered was it was DXD Generation, which is now called Fireblaze Studio. So I went to DXD Generation. At the time, the producer was my boss, Slash Poge. So I went to the studio to record my first song. But actually, when I was in Boga, I was a student in Mount Sinai Educational Center. So in Mount Sinai Educational Center,
the popular Mount Sinai we know in Boga.
Absolutely, yes. If you're entering Boga from Tamale, at the left-hand side. So I was a student there, and then I met a partner in the school. So we're doing freestyle at the time. So in Mount Sinai, actually, the first day I got to Mount Sinai, a lady gave me a name called Nigga Blue. Nigga Blue.
Because I know Nigga Blue from way back.
Yes. So
then the BLUEBeatz came in.
So Nigga Blue, when I enrolled into Mount Sinai, I think the first 2 days, a lady gave me the name Nigga Blue because I was wearing a blue cardigan. Yeah, you know that feeling like if a new student come into a school, then the students don't know your name. And at the time, I was some swagger boy be like that to enter the school inside, you know. So when this lady got up and said, "Oh, class, do you know the name of this boy?" She was actually the funny type. So, do you know the name of this boy? And then everybody was paying attention to hear the name of the new classmate. So she said Nigga Blue, and literally the name,
it caught fire.
Absolutely, everybody was calling me Nigga Blue. So I didn't have problem. I could not have stopped the name. So I took it on. I was so passionate about music, so I was always going to the studio. I was always going to Salasi every day and night. If I wake up in the morning, I am going to DXD studio. I'm going to the studio. I'll go, they'll sack me. Or like if I go to the studio, I'm not always welcome. But still, I still go every day. So I pushed myself. You see,
something must happen.
As many people call them ahonshishe. I do ahonshishe. Then the Selassie had no option to just accept this boy. because when I was there, I was becoming useful because they were sending me to buy water, buy food, blah blah blah. So I was becoming useful. So they accepted me, and then we were there at the time. So I think then this clique started Fireblaze Entertainment, like, you know. At the time it was DXD, and at the time I can't really remember the story, but at the time there was another guys that falling, like Sorabia was there, JC was, like, the Fireblaze. Anybody in Boga knows the Fireblaze clique. So we became a clique, you know, at the time.
Behind Mobile Park down there.
Yeah, behind the absolutely at the time, you know the story, you know what I mean, like
you are telling the whole world.
Absolutely. So you know the story. So at the time they have no option to accept me. So I was always the one to clean the studio at the time. I don't really know. I don't know whether.
So you just needed to do things that will keep you in the area and inside the studio.
I have to be useful. So I remember at the time they were selling. They were sending me to market to go buy tomato. I was just a boy.
You go quickly and come back.
I was just a boy, but not a broke boy. I was from a solid background. My father was a full-time accountant.
They were following the passion.
Yes.
And if it meant you should be a houseboy to negate to get the studio.
Absolutely. Okay. I was a pure Dada B-boy, but you know, the passion for the music there, so I have to do it. So I could work from junior staff quarters to that place. So I was working from junior staff quarters to that place. The boy got the mobile park. At a distance, you know, the mobile park back there. Yeah. So I think when I became a studio boy, Selassie, the producer, at the time. Okay, when I was in the studio, I was learning music. It's just like me having a boy.
But did you always want to become a producer, or is the singing that was your thing?
I wanted to do the music, but I had a producing background. When I was growing up, I was playing drums. Not real drums, but Conco drums. You see, this Tin Tomatoes Conco, they have a big one. To those days, we could mount it above the a bandstand. We could have the toms, put two toms there, put snare, like just design a full band, and we're playing. So I had this background of it, and the fact that I also grew up selling cassettes helped me because I could hear, I know every music genre. I was open to every kind of music in the world. So as I was there, my aim was to record music, to make music. So I was recording music gradually at the time because I was a studio boy at the time. So I was I graduated from not paying for recordings again. And then I became a friend to Selassie. I was his boy, but a friend in a way. Because we became friends before he could now accept me to be his boy, but he was way grown than me and had a good position. So I became a boy and a friend at the same time. So anytime Selassie's girlfriend called him at the time, he will have to send the phone outside to make your call. So anytime Selassie gets up to make your call, I'll come and sit on his chair, just like this chair, and then
we're working on the production.
I'll also be trying.
Fingering the keyboard.
Absolutely, I'll be trying. Before you come, I'll play some. I'll gather some I'll play some beats. Like, so I was just literally
but that was all ironing the skill.
Absolutely. So I was learning, you know what I mean? So I did that, and then how I was able to do that was that because I was always in the studio with him alone. So if he's doing, I'm just behind him, I'm watching the screen.
Your eye data.
Absolutely. So I was not actually taught that if you want to play beats, put it here. No. I was always in the studio with him. So gradually.
You picked up.
I don't know what happened, bro. I don't know what happened. I was playing beats.
You know, you mentioned the B background. I mean, your parents were taking care of you and all of that. How was the acceptance or resistance?
The B pass. You know, you don't say that they have some B treatment. No. What I mean was that my parent, my dad, be very good. Like background will be too bad.
So basically, you didn't need to beg to eat.
Absolutely.
Good.
You know what
so I mean? What I'm getting at is, how was the acceptance or resistance from your dad, for instance, your mom and siblings regarding BLUEBeatz going into music and later on becoming a producer? Did you have it easy with your family that it didn't bother you going into that area?
I think before I got into music, my family, like my extended family, didn't really know how I got into music. But I think my father knew how I got into music because at the time I was living with my father alone, you know. And then he knew I was going to the studio up and down. Even when I started my sound engineering career, I was always at home. I remember at the time there was some time I was learning keyboard. I went to church to learn keyboard. So the time I went to church to learn keyboard, I was always learning how to play keyboard in the house. I was one child that don't sit in the house, but because of the keyboard, I had to always be home for practice.
Yeah.
So I think at the time my dad knew that this boy was taking the sound engineering serious. Yeah.
Okay.
And then my dad never told me not to do music. He never told me to do music.
Okay. So
like he was just watching just watching me do my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. How you can let us know how you got into Northern Region? Yeah. I remember when you started this years ago. It was a Bolga thing, an Upper East thing.
Yes.
Then I realized I couldn't see you in town.
Yeah.
Then I checked you up and you are like, you have gone to Tamale.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm like, I said, Chele, you go fit. Because Tamale is a big place. And you say, oh, God Day or something like that. So tell me, how did you navigate from Bolga? How did you pick, like, you got up? What gave you that decision that, no, I'm packing stuff from Bolga, I'm relocating to Tamale?
So literally, people don't really know what brought me to Tamale. You know, at the time when I was in Bolga, after I learned the job from Selassie, I was an apprentice for Selassie. So I graduated in becoming like a popular. I had the opportunity to be very popular. And before I left Bolga, I was the biggest top producer in Bolga. You understand? Because at the time when I finished learning the production I was producing, and like since musicians failed to love my vibe and production, Selassie left the studio for me. Okay. Selassie literally left the studio for me.
So if the artists come to record, they are not going to see Selassie there.
No, that
you have no choice but to work with BLUEBeatz.
Musicians can even come and tell Selassie they want me to do the work. So Selassie left the studio for me. Like 4 years I was the studio.
I think that's around the time Selassie started running to Accra.
Yes, so at the time Selassie gave up the job. He just gave the studio to me. I was the one working there. Okay. So I had the opportunity to be the biggest producer at the time. I was making all the Kolgo. I was like, I don't know, I actually have this, I don't know whether it's blessing, because I'm not sure it's just only the talent.
Something divine is involved.
Yeah, because all the Kolgo local songs I was producing were making hits in Bolga. Gospel songs were making hits in Bolga. Like everything.
Are you able to cite some of these artists that worked?
Yeah, so at the time, my first ever song I produced, and that became hit, it was a Soribia song. Okay. And after that, I've been producing hits. But my first song, my first project.
The one they take Kaipa.
Yeah. See, I don't think but there's
that's the one that you can recall that like brought you the Soribia one.
Yeah, Soribia's hit song.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it should be
so tie in the movement relocation from Bolga to Tamale.
After the time I was big in Bolga. This was way back like in 2012 or 2011, 2012 to 2015 or 2012, 13 to 15, one of them. So I think I was so addicted to the studio that my parents felt like I didn't want to go to school again. I remember it was one of my uncles, Dr. Ero. He's I think he's a pathologist at the TTH, Tamale Technical Hospital. What's the name? Tamale Teaching Hospital. Yeah. So he called me one day and was like, I need to decide. He's giving me this night to decide whether I will go to school or they will live my life for me. So after I graduated from senior high school, I had good results, but I want to do the music, and I was even looking for sound engineering school to attend at the time. But I think I wasn't getting the support, because I remember talking to my father about it, but I didn't get the support to go to the sound engineering school. So when my uncle called me, it was like a threat, you know. I was like, no, I have no option. The way the matter they go there.
Is this or that?
Absolutely. So he said the next day I called him and said, okay, uncle, I'll go to the school. And he said he's sending me money. I should go to ADB Bank and go and buy a UDS form and apply immediately. So I think I went and applied. I went and bought the form. I applied, and in September, I had admission. Okay. So I have to move from Bolga to Tamale.
Okay.
So literally
to school.
So literally I didn't move to Tamale to play beat.
Okay. You came to school.
Yes.
Okay. So along the line.
Yes. So I came to Tamale. In September. I'll never forget this. This is like this story like. It's anytime I'm talking about this, I begin to get sensitive small. I came to Tamale in 2015 September. Okay. 2 weeks time, I had a text message from a CEO of a recording studio, the biggest recording studio at the time.
Okay.
I've never seen a studio like that in my life.
And you got a text, yeah?
Yeah, I got a text from him and was like, I'm the CEO of Hyperlink Studios.
Yeah.
I heard you are a solid producer. I didn't even know what happened. Yeah. I heard you are a very talented producer who is in town. I have a recording studio that I just opened 6 months ago. That I brought a producer from Accra, but it's not running how I wanted it to run. Yeah. So I would like us to. I'm like, hey, this person you talk to him, studio doc. Oh. Me, I love studio like anything. I love to play a bit like anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that time I didn't even know the business aspect of it.
Yeah. You the passion and for
me,
the fun.
I was in Tamale for 2 weeks. I didn't play beat. Okay. Me, I wake up, I don't play beat. I'm not.
Your hands they itch.
My hands they itch. And you are telling me to come for you. I'm like, no. So university boy.
Prayer answered.
So he told me that so we should talk about the terms and conditions. And he said he was going to offer me 30% for producing every song.
Yeah.
I'm like, what 30%?
Straight up, he has brought business to
yes, he said he was going to pay me 30%.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, the time I did apprentice, so at the land.
You're about to hammer.
So I can't make money from making beats there. Yeah. Solid. And he also said he was going to give me lunch. 30% and lunch. I'm like university boy. Me say, oh, this one here.
You are sorted.
I'm sorted. So he said, oh, the studio is there. I can start to work tomorrow. I'm like, sharp. Tomorrow, let's go. So fortunately at the time, Don Sigley was in my campus.
Okay.
So and I met Don Sigley some year back in Boga. So they introduced Sigley to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met Sigley in Boga sometime. So I introduced myself to Sigley and said, Charlie, I'll be producer. I would like us to work. Yeah. So he said, okay, no, but if anything, let me know. So he was taking me to a bigger studio at the time. So I said, oh, no problem, bro, let's go. And at that time, I was willing to work for free. BLUEBeatz.
You just want to announce your presence.
Absolutely, I just want to make beats. So he took me to the Hyperlink studio. When I went to Hyperlink, there was a manager.
So that's your first introduction.
Yeah. He took me to Hyperlink. So when I went to Hyperlink, there was a secretary and a manager. A manager called Tumba, secretary called Bella. Yeah. So went inside the studio. I entered Hyperlink studio. I never seen a studio like that before.
Things there inside.
Because I seen the studio I used for Bolga, I don't reach that studio. So we entered. I saw better equipment. I'm like, wow, no problem. We entered. The musicians started, let's play beat. He started singing a song for me. Yeah. And I was making beat. And I'm the type of producer that if I'm playing beat and you're watching, you're going to love me. Like you're going to see the passion, you're going to see the talent and everything. You're going to fall in love with me. So when I was there producing the boy song, I realized the secretary.
They were all nodding.
And the manager came inside the studio. They were watching me. So as they was watching me, I was like, no, these people, make us show you skills. Then she said, no, people they.
Your black boy.
So the secretary and manager came inside the studio, and then they loved the vibe. Yeah. So I was giving them more. I was showing my skills and everything. Yeah. So they were praising me. Say, as they were praising me, I was spoiling them. Yeah. So I think it was after the next day. I think when they saw that, the manager quickly went out and called the owner of the studio and said, no, there's this sound who came to this our studio.
And they will have to have. They would like to have you there.
They have to have me. Yeah. The guy is very talented. Yeah. So the next day, the CEO of Hyperlink contacted me, okay. And then we spoke. Yeah. He said he was going to offer me 30% and lunch. And I was like, oh, this one is solid because already myself, I don't get studio and I'm very passionate about this job, Yeah. I accepted. The next day I started, I went to Hyperlink. However you do to get them,
you should get them.
Let me play them. And he said he will give me their number. So he gave me Fancy Kadam and gave me Macasio and then gave me Don Sigley. Okay. And I told him that Don Sigley, I've already met Don Sigley in the university already. Okay. So I told him we will be working. Okay. So that time I told Don Sigley that Charlie, I've gotten a studio called Hyperlink. And Don Sigley told me that was his brother's studio. So there was no problem. Yeah. So the next day, Don Sigley came to the studio, bro. So when Don Sigley came to the studio, we produced this song called Perfect Man. Okay. So we recorded Perfect Man, but we didn't release it. So, and one thing is that when you work with me, you're gonna fall in love with me. So after Perfect Man, Don Sigley also realized that no, this BLUEBeatz guy is a good producer. So he kept me to himself. Every day I was working for Don Sigley. Within 2 weeks, myself and Don Sigley made 10 songs. And out of these 10 songs, there was the popular and biggest song called Wumpini in there.
Yeah, Wumpini, everybody knows.
Yes,
even
so,
people who are not from Northern region.
After, so we recorded Wumpini. Wumpini was the 3rd song I recorded.
I saw the video later.
But we didn't release it.
Okay.
So it was there. So I took Macasio's number. No, I took Fancy's number. And I called Fancy Gadam. Yo, Fancy Gadam, my name is Blue. Okay, so I spoke to Fancy Gadam and BLUEBeatz. I want to work with you and stuff.
Yeah.
And Fancy Gadam too is one musician that he doesn't want to risk his career.
Yeah.
If he doesn't believe in you as a producer,
yeah,
he's not gonna work with you. So it was difficult to get Fancy. And you know the Superstar Live tour was there. They do 2 notes more at a time. You know the
it's normal.
Yeah, which we are very normal. You know. So I called Macasio the next day. I'm like, yo, Macasio, my name is BLUEBeatz. I'd like you to pass through my studio and we'll have a joint. But at that time, I had recorded Atanta one song. I had recorded Wumpini. It was lying down, not released yet. Okay. So Macasio came the next day and I recorded this song for him called 69 Fans. Date and date, you know, one big song. Yeah. It's actually a song that took Macasio to a very, very higher level and then made him enter Boga. You know, those songs were songs that gave birth
beyond borders.
Yeah, gave birth to Northern music. That's something I always say, you know. So I recorded 69 Fans for Macasio, and then when Macasio released his song, the next 2 days, Fancy Gadam called me and said he wanted to pass through the studio. Let's do something. I'm like, yo,
the fire was catching
absolutely.
Up. Okay. So
that was what I was saying. Now, he had a good job and wanted me to have a vibe with him.
All right. So BLUEBeatz, tell me, when you put that post on Facebook that you were beginning or starting a music production school, it was one of the best news coming out from your end, and I immediately shared that post, if you remember, on Facebook. Tell me, how did this idea about you opening a music studio come about? You're a young man. You, as far as you are concerned, you are doing well for yourself. Waiting concern you by training others.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Being the biggest music producer up down here in the north, that a lot of youth or young ones are looking up to. I get messages on my phone. I get DMs of young guys telling me that I want to be like you. I want you to teach me how to make beats. Most of the times I want to be like you one day. So I felt like these guys are tapping some inspiration from me
you,
and want to be like me. So I was like, okay, I can't teach all of you one by one. It will be nice I set up an academy whereby if you are interested and really want to be like me, you want to produce music, I will take you through and teach you. So the inspiration actually came from that, and another one too with the fact that people are out there with talents, but the support is not there. I realized that there are young guys out there who want to get something doing for themselves, but they are not getting it. Because trust me, my music, to become a music producer was not an easy journey. I didn't get the support. At some point, I wish like I had to get equipment to even work for. I didn't get it.
Get a studio to set up.
Absolutely, to get a studio to set up and start making my own money was not there. So me, in fact, people have drained me a lot, like because I was not having a studio. You have to go and work for somebody, and then the person will take some percentage and give you. You will take the lowest, you know. So I was like, no, why not set up a music academy and teach young ones who really want to be like you and who also take advantage of making, because right now the country unemployment be too much.
So you are creating business opportunities.
Absolutely. So I'm giving these guys something to go and do out there.
And I think about a week or two or so ago, you actually celebrated one of your prodigies that passed through your family.
Absolutely. So I had this producer, new singer. He's one popular music producer in Northeast. I think he did a production tour and he went to Accra. And then when he was coming, he stopped by my studio to say hi to me. And when I saw him,
you were very happy.
I was like, hey, this be the,
you be that.
If you be that, see how you looking fresh.
So when did you start that?
So actually I was. It was on a low key. I didn't come out because new singer when I was teaching was not out there. You get me? He was just there in my studio. Actually his parents brought him and I took him at the time because when I was producing music, I was like my father at the time who saw me learning piano in the house to say that no, this boy.
Yeah.
The way I have to just take you to a music school, you go and learn this.
Okay.
So that boy, his parents brought him, and I felt very touched that. Sorry, the parents brought him. I was like, no, the money at the time they paid me. So I said, no, I'll take this guy, I'll teach him, and I taught him. So when he came, I was so happy. So it's also one of the reasons why I had to set up a music academy. I felt like no.
More guys would like to.
I've impacted his life, and I need to impact more boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many? When you started formally, the school is actually, what's the name on it?
BLUEBeATZ Music Academy.
Okay. So how many students did you officially start with?
Okay. So my first batch I had 5 students.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 students. 2 were teachers.
Okay.
2 were teachers, and then 3 were like street hustlers like me.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
My music academy I actually teach. You know, there are a lot of people. There are even doctors who want to learn how to produce music. There are accountants, teachers,
across other professions.
Yeah, people have passion to just make music.
Yeah.
So my academy, I have a part-time students I teach.
Okay.
Those ones just work to me at any point of time, and I teach them.
Okay.
And I have a full-time student. So I have my full-time students were 3, and my part-time students were 2.
Okay.
So I think my first batch I have 5 students.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not to sound biased, but I want to believe all boys so far. You don't have a woman stepping forward that's like
so
the odd one.
Yes. So it is. You know what? It's actually the second batch that I have a woman
as part of the students
by my form.
Okay.
So I think she's still working on coming to fix her fees and all of those stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's very impressive.
Yeah.
So this must certainly be an expensive venture for you as a young man.
No, it wasn't easy, trust me.
How did you manage to put up this together? You have support somewhere, the computers and the gadgets you have in the studio there.
I was actually expecting to get some support, but fortunately I didn't get that support. Actually, this was support I wish I had from maybe NGOs and organizations, because how I wanted to set up the school, I didn't set it up that way because I wanted one student, one studio kind of academy.
So there's enough time for them.
But I don't have that strength to do it that way. So I had to manage to set up a professional studio for the start. So literally I didn't get support to set up my studio. I just did everything on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, BLUEBeatz. We have a number of friends that hang around BLUEBeatz, but there is one notable friend of yours that always attracts public attention. The Beam Nation president, Stonebwoy. And I see like you are the darling boy of Stonebwoy. I mean, give us a small gist. How did that click? How did that connection with the whole Stonebwoy come about?
With Stonebwoy, I actually think first of all, I think I'll give I will thank him for giving me the opportunity to I'll thank him for actually accepting me like a junior brother, a young and upcoming producer. How did I meet Stonebwoy? I think I met Stonebwoy as a producer before we graduated to be friends and some kind of like brothers and all of that, you know. I met Stonebwoy in 2019 when he came to Tamale to do his Beam concert. His in-house producer happened to be my friend Street Beats. Yeah, so I think I met Stonebwoy through Street Beats when they were producing a song called African Party. I was in the hotel with them when they were making that song. So I think I had, as a producer who was there, music was making, I had my own ideas of how I wanted the song to go. So I think I brought it on board, and then my ideas were bought, and we made that song. So you
made some very juicy and positive suggestions.
Exactly. So my ideas were bought on the song, so we made and produced that song, and then Stonebwoy realized that this guy was a talented producer.
That's beautiful.
And then we quickly exchanged numbers, you know. Yeah, absolutely.
Happy about.
Absolutely.
Great.
And then even Stonebwoy is a very lovely person. Like even with me, sometimes I sleep and ask myself, that's Stonebwoy, and it's like me, I be too small with the attention you are giving, like the love and attention you are giving me, you know. Sometimes I wonder how it's happening, because to get close to somebody like Stonebwoy, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because for the past years I've sent emails of beats, even a hello self reply I've never gotten
from some.
But to have him as my artist I'm working with, and to have him as a friend, sometimes to even manage certain things he's doing, because there are certain brand related issues of him that I handle in the north here. So I think I just felt it was a blessing to meet Stoneboy.
Good to know. Good to know how it all started, and our hope is that this will keep growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, looking at the music scene in the north, you are a producer. You have seen a lot. Do artists from northern Ghana need to relocate to Accra before they can make it or catch national attention? These are things many people say in conversations. Somebody can argue that Fancy 69 and co are here and they are making it big, but there are many of our guys from up north who think that if they need to blow up musically, then they need to go base in Accra. You share the same thinking?
I think it's not entirely based in Accra, but we can't deny the fact that the market in Accra is very big than it is in the north, because automatically, just like in the north, when you blow in Tamale, you blow in northern Ghana.
It's central and big.
Absolutely. That is why I sit and say like I'm the biggest producer in the north, because I cut across the entire north. You know, so if you are big in Accra, you'll be big in Ghana. You get what I'm trying to say?
I get the point.
So it's not entirely we northern based talents moving to Accra, but moving up and down to promote the works in Accra makes sense. I don't believe in just entirely moving, because how did they entirely move to Accra before? I had Stoneboy. I had projects which I started recording Stoneboy. It's in Tamale I was, and we are working now. You get me? But I also think if I was in Accra, I'll have certain opportunities in working with certain people. You get that than I'm in the north. So I don't really agree entirely in moving, but I agree that we go to and fro in to promote our works in Accra. We will grow better, far better than we are.
Somebody will be watching this interview with BLUEBeatz and goes like, this guy has spoken a lot about the investment he has put in his work and all of that. At this point in time, will the biggest sound engineer, producer in northern Ghana will still collect help if help comes from somewhere?
You see, one of the things is that
somebody might just watch this interview and say, I want to give.
Okay, so people will actually think that because you are popular, you are making all the big songs out there, you are rich. No, we are not rich as they perceive.
Okay, so members of the public, business entities, and then corporate organizations who are willing to support BLUEBeatz and the children, boys and girls you are coaching, they should feel free to bring help.
Absolutely, I need help. They shouldn't feel that we are making music. You know, one interesting thing people don't know. I can never make money like the musician. The performing artist. The money he's going to take 30 minutes to make. It's going to take like a year to make it.
With all the cracking of your brain.
People don't know this. People don't know this. You get me? So the thing, because we are behind making the music, we are rich. We are not rich. I'm not a rich boy. I need help. I'm a fucking broke boy.